Hey everyone, it's Anna here. I thought I'd just film a video that I've wanted to do for a wee while. It's everything wrong with minimalism. Because lately with the Marie Kondo series coming out on Netflix and a real growth in interest in minimalism, we're hearing all the positive things but maybe not thinking about some of the negative things and how to overcome them. So yeah, I've been a minimalist for maybe nearly 4 years now, and I have obviously had a lot of positive benefits happen, but also there have been some obstacles to overcome, so I thought I'd just list them and kind of what to do if you encounter them yourself. So the first one I've talked about in another video, but is the most important one that I find, and that is constantly seeking perfection. So instead of going out and buying heaps of stuff and trying to achieve that perfect life through all your possessions, in the consumeristic society that we live in or whatever, you've flipped it on its head and you're starting to try and be the perfect minimalist by having the least stuff and having one black t-shirt, one grey t-shirt and a jacket and a pair of boots or whatever. But yeah, for minimalism, everyone has a different journey, a different style, everything, and there isn't a perfect way to be a minimalist. If there was, I don't know, it would be insane. Even people that have a very small amount of possessions are probably quite tough on themselves and try to continue to cut that number down even more. But you're never gonna get to perfection unless you just literally don't own anything, so there's no point in trying for that, and I think it's important to kind of embrace imperfection, if you know what I mean. So yeah. So point number 2 is, this is an interesting one that I've only been thinking about recently. It's the inability to be creative. So even though minimalism opens a lot of space and mind space as well for allowing in more creative energy and things, in a way I feel personally that I've been almost scared to experiment with things like fashion or hobbies, because I'm scared that I'm just kind of going to be wasting money if I decide that it's just a phase and I don't want to wear those clothes anymore, that kind of thing. So there's that kind of side of not wanting to waste but still wanting to be creative, so it's kind of hard. I think everyone will find this one very different for them and what that means, but if you're going out and buying like a lot of clothes or makeup to suit a certain style because that's a way you want to express yourself, you might experience a lot of feelings of like, oh, is it worth it? Am I actually gonna use this stuff? Is it gonna be me? If you know what I mean. So I think the way that you can overcome this is just realize that you're never gonna be perfect with your spending. You're never gonna be without mistakes in your spending. So I think experimenting with your creativity and fashion and hobbies and things is so important, just to, it's always going to bring you one step closer to the person that you want to be, so why not give it a go, Yes. Okay. The third one's kind of along the same line, like the fear of buying stuff, just in general, because you don't want to waste, it's almost like the fear of buying things outweighs any benefits that you could get from the thing, so you just don't buy it, and then, and it kind of comes from the fear of recluttering your space or just the wasting money thing again. But I think as long as you're thinking really carefully about what you're buying and why you're buying it, you will get benefit from the items that you buy, and you won't feel that regret and you won't feel like you're wasting money. So yeah. Number 4 is you will probably start to feel like you just hate being around clutter and non-minimalists and that kind of thing. So people that always buy the newest gadgets and things, and you just or spaces that are really cluttered and messy or dirty, because you've kind of set those high standards for yourself for not buying the newest things or getting rid of your possessions and creating that kind of calm vibe for your life, that when you're in it, it's very like, oh, you just feel like you need to declutter it, or you feel like you need to make that person see your side of things. But this is one that I really struggle with, but I think the way that you can overcome it is kind of thinking like, everyone is different. Everyone's got different values. They might really love their new laptop or their new iPhone or whatever. This isn't a specific example from my life or anything, I'm just trying to think like, you know, or they might like having thousands of books on their shelves when you just like having 5. But if that sparks joy for them, there we go, dropping in the reference there, if that sparks joy for them, then you know, you've got to accept that, and it might not for you, but just feel happy for them. And if you're in a space where it's not yours, it's someone else's, just feel happy that this is their space and they've created the space that they want. So yes. And the 5th one is people that don't get it, and that's kind of in line with number 4, but yeah, people that don't quite understand why you're minimalist, or you know, they don't understand that you might not want presents at Christmas or birthdays and you might want cash or something, like, you know, something different. I think, yeah, again, it's important to realise that people just live differently, and minimalism is, it's not a new concept, but it's definitely new for a lot of people. So, you know, you can kind of try to explain it to them, and it's only if they don't listen at that stage after you've explained it that you kind of need to start rethinking maybe their value in your life, because you only want to be around people that kind of appreciate your values, and even if they're not the same as them, you know, they respect them. So yeah, that's one to think about as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, as long as you just you're strong in your values and you know what you want out of life, then everything will be fine, and yes, you'll get through it. Just remember those main reasons that you might be trying to be minimalist, like, you know, you want that happiness, that peace of mind, that space and like freedom and all that jazz. Just remember that, because that'll get you through. So yeah, thanks for watching, and more minimalism videos to come. Have a great day.